Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're doing something just a little bit different. We are putting you right in the hot seat. Instead of just looking at abstract educational data from the outside, we're going to establish a high-stakes narrative right from the get-go. You are about to be handed the reins to a failing educational institution, and we're going to use some truly fascinating, data-backed research to help you draft a blueprint to save it. Okay, let's dive into this. Picture this scenario, and this is actually pulled straight from a real Kathmandu University midterm exam paper for their instruction diploma. It says, imagine you have recently been appointed as the principal of a constituent technical school under CTEVT, that's the National Technical Education Council, that has been operating in your own municipality for the past 2 decades. The school faces several critical challenges. So, as of right now, lock yourself into the role of this embattled principal. You've just called an urgent meeting of your management committee, and you need to draft a future plan.
You've been on the job for, 2 weeks, and you've already uncovered 3 massive problems that are literally threatening to shut your school's doors for good. First, a declining enrollment rate. Basically, fewer and fewer students actually want to attend. Second, the graduates you do produce, they're struggling to find employment in the real world. And third, your instructors are frequently resigning. They are completely burnt out and leaving for other organizations. You need a structural fix, and honestly, you need it yesterday.
To solve a crisis like this, you're going to need a cheat sheet. And luckily, that is exactly what we have for you today, the LEM TV4 Income Research Project. This is an extensive collaboration between the Kathmandu University School of Education in Nepal and ETH Zurich in Switzerland, all funded by the Swiss National Science Foundation. Their research systematically maps out exactly how vocational education links to real-world income and employment. We are going to use their findings as your ultimate diagnostic tool to turn this failing institution around. Section 1. Mapping the landscape. What is TVET? Right, so before you can draft any sort of future plan, you need to thoroughly understand the landscape you're operating in. You aren't running a traditional high school here, you're running a TVET institution. That stands for Technical Vocational Education and Training. This is education specifically structured to provide the exact knowledge and skills required for direct entry into the world of work. We really need to distinguish this from general academic paths that are mostly just preparing students for university. The absolute core metric of your success here isn't just handing out pieces of paper, it's how well your institution actually ties its students directly to the labor market. Now, what's really fascinating here is how the LLAM project breaks this whole landscape down into 4 ideal types of TVET. On one axis, we have the education system. Is it formal, with official state diplomas, or is it non-formal, like short, targeted courses? On the other axis is the employment system. Are students aiming for the regulated formal economy or the informal economy? Your failing school right now is a Type 1 formal education aiming for formal employment. But keep this entire matrix in mind as we go, because non-formal and informal models might just hold the secret to your survival. Section 2. The missing link. Education meets employment. Let's shift our focus to the most critical symptom of your failing school. Why are your graduates currently unemployed? Well, the fundamental issue is right here, a complete lack of connection. You are currently running an isolated, purely school-based learning system. You decide what to teach, you teach it, and you test it. But here's the thing, the labor market doesn't care about your internal tests. They care about relevant skills. Researchers argue that optimal outcomes require a linked system where local businesses, the people who actually hire your students, are actively involved in the educational process. Otherwise, you're just teaching in a vacuum.
Section 3. The Blueprint. The Curriculum Value Chain.
So how do you practically build those links? Use the researcher's actionable diagnostic tool, the curriculum value chain. This framework breaks the whole educational process down into 3 continuous phases: the curriculum design phase, the application phase, and the feedback phase. To solve your triple crisis of low enrollment, unemployed grads, and resigning teachers, you absolutely must bring industry voices into every single one of these steps. Let's break them down.
Step 1 is the design phase. This is where you actually decide what the content of the curriculum will be and how you're going to measure proficiency. If you bring local company experts into this phase to help define your standards, you instantly stop teaching outdated skills. By aligning what you teach with exactly what employers actually need today, you directly solve your first major crisis, graduates struggling to find employment. Boom, problem 1 handled.
Step 2 is the application phase. This is where the rubber meets the road, the actual implementation of the curriculum, the learning environments, and the equipment. If you partner with local industry to offer workplace training, you pull the students out of the classroom and get them into real businesses. And this brilliantly shares the teaching burden. Instead of your instructors having to do literally everything in outdated school labs, local businesses share the load, and just like that, you directly address your second crisis. Your overworked instructors are going to stop resigning.
Finally, step 3 is the feedback phase. This is all about gathering data on your educational outcomes and using it to update the curriculum for the next cycle. So, the crucial point is this. When you continuously update your curriculum based on real industry feedback, your school transforms into a dynamic, highly respected institution. Graduates get jobs, companies start trusting your brand, and word spreads. And that is how you entirely reverse your final crisis, the declining enrollment rate.
Section 4. Inspiration from Nepal. Real-world success stories.
Now, it's one thing to understand the theory of linking education and employment, but as the principal, you need to see what this actually looks like in practice. Let's move to Skenichi and see how this builds in the real world. Take the CTVT Technical School Leaving Certificate. This is a massive traditional program with a long history across Nepal. It sits squarely in that formal education to formal employment category. And while it provides a crucial baseline to solve your current crisis, we need to look at how programs exactly like this are being innovated upon today.
Look at the NSUR Dual VET Apprenticeship Program. This is just an incredible, innovative pilot project. It offers a 24-month dual apprenticeship that actively combines school-based learning with work-based training. The researchers actually note that this program has raised massive expectations as a milestone paradigm shift for Nepal. It's moving the whole system away from purely school-based training, which is exactly what's failing your institution right now, toward a highly linked work-based model.
Now, let's step outside that traditional formal school box for a second. The Nepal Academy of Tourism and Hotel Management runs a really influential vocational training program. Technically speaking, this is non-formal education. It doesn't follow the standard academic degree path, but it is highly successful at feeding literally thousands of skilled youth directly into Nepal's booming formal tourism and hospitality sector. It provides an amazing contrast. You don't always need a strictly formal degree path to yield incredible formal employment results.
And this brilliantly illustrates a massive, honestly often overlooked piece of the puzzle. Did you know an incredible 62% of Nepal's economy is informal? The Kumale pottery training in the Bhattarai and Thimi area operates entirely outside formal schools and formal companies. It's non-formal education feeding directly into informal employment, transmitting vital expertise from generation to generation. As a principal, realizing that highly effective training can thrive out here, sustaining entire communities without formal walls, could be an absolute game changer for how you think about education.
So we'll let you out of the hot seat now. You've got the LELM TV4 Income Blueprint. You understand the matrix. You know that to fix your crises, you absolutely must link your education directly to the employment sector using the curriculum value chain. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to consider about your own community. Take a look at the schools and vocational centers around you. Are they teaching in an isolated vacuum, or are they truly linked to the reality of the local workforce? Because, as we've learned today, an education without a link to the real world is simply an institution in crisis.